Hello, everyone. This is Alison, your host of the Greek and Christian podcast, and we are back again with another episode of Friday 15. So, if you're just joining us, Friday 15s are interviews that I do with students across the country, Greek students who are trying to figure out this whole Greek and Christian thing. And today, I have Maddie joining me. Hey, Maddie.
Hello.
And so you'll notice I have a lovely background behind me today. You can see some beautiful mountains behind me. Tell us, where do you go to school?
So I go to Madison University. It's located in Harrisonburg, Virginia. It's like right in the middle of the Shenandoah Valley. Obviously, as you can see the mountains in the background of this picture, but we love it. There's a lot of school spirit at JMU. So go Dukes.
Awesome. Love it. Well, and if you're listening to this on the podcast, we do post these videos of my conversations on YouTube and on Instagram. And so you can pop over there if you want to see the background that Maddie described for you. But otherwise, in your mind's eye, just imagine a really beautiful campus with old buildings in the Shenandoah Valley.
Mm-hmm.
So Maddie, tell us, what sorority are you a member of? What year in school are you? Just kind of the fast facts about Maddie.
Yeah. So I'm a member of Kappa Alpha Theta at JMU. I went through recruitment as a freshman, which is really exciting. So I'm a current junior and I'm studying health sciences, hopefully to go into public health, something along those lines. But yeah, that's a little about me.
Awesome. Okay, so I want to get to know JMU's campus, and you said Harrisburg is the city?
Harrisonburg. Yep.
Oh no, that was a faux pas. I'm
No,
sorry.
that's okay. It's okay. A lot of people get it confused. There is a Harrisburg, but we are Harrisonburg.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I apologize.
No
Harrisonburg,
worries.
Virginia, campus of JMU, James Madison University. Tell me, where is like a favorite place that you and your sorority sisters love to go eat at?
I would definitely say downtown Harrisonburg. There's a lot of really cool restaurants, a lot of like hustle and bustle down there. It definitely is a college town, so it's pretty quaint, pretty small. But one of my favorite restaurants to go to is called Billy Jack's. So it's kind of like pretty hip and cool. Like there's a little bar area in there too, but it's kind of like a Western themed restaurant. But they are famous for what we call sticky nugs here at JMU. Basically, I know, crazy. Stick with me. Basically, it's like chicken nuggets, kind of like dipped in different sauces and seasoned different ways. So there's like multiple different ways that you can like have them. But there's different sauces that you can even dip the chicken nuggets into.
So I was going to ask, can you dip them in
experience. Yeah, exactly. So if you ever make it out to Harrisonburg, you'll definitely have to stop there and try it.
Nice. Ooh, noted. And what was it? Billy Jack's?
It's called Billy Jack's. Yep.
Okay. Noted. I'll remember that. Well, you have, 3 years, almost 3 years under your belt at JMU, 3 years being a proud member of Kappa Alpha Theta. So what is one of your favorite memories or moments so far about being Greek?
There's so many things that I could say, honestly. I think I was deciding between two. Probably one was my original bid day, the day that I got into Theta my freshman year at JMU. It was such a special day. You just gone through this long week of recruitment, and just like so exhausted from talking to people, and you just can't wait to know who sorority you're going to be in. So I had actually gone through recruitment with one of my best friends from preschool, but we promised each other the whole time going through recruitment that we weren't going to talk. We were just going to make our own independent decisions. And so we got into the room. We got our bids. We looked at each other and we were like, what'd you get? We were like, Theta. Ah! And so now we're both in the same sorority as juniors in college, which is literally crazy that like one of my best friends
sweet.
is now my sister in that way. So it was like literally such a special moment, and I will probably remember it for the rest of my life. Yeah.
Wow. I don't keep in touch with anybody from my preschool.
Yeah,
I don't even know if I know anybody's names anymore from my preschool.
I know. We've gone to the same school since preschool, like the same elementary, middle, high school, and college. So
wow.
She's been in my corner for a long time.
Oh, that's super special. I love that story. Well, I'd love to hear a little bit about your faith background. So tell me, when you arrived at JMU, Were you following Jesus? If so, what has that been like trying to figure out your faith in Greek life? If not, how did you connect with Jesus in
Yeah,
college?
yeah, absolutely. So I had started my relationship with Christ actually in high school. I was introduced to Young Life as a freshman in high school, and that's kind of how I heard the gospel for the first time, like actually like bought a Bible, like figured out all the like little simple things. And I didn't really start like a real relationship pursuing Christ probably until I was an upperclassman in high school. And that had to do with a lot of different people pursuing me and really, really loving me well in
Hmm.
that type of community. And so when I decided what college I was going to, like, I knew that JMU was a very secular school. I knew that Greek life was a big presence. I knew that parties and everything would like be there on my campus. But I had kind of stepped into a new freedom of knowing who I was and knowing my identities in Christ. And so when I came to campus, it wasn't something that I was like shying away from or like scared of, but kind of figuring out how do you like navigate like
Hmm.
following Christ, but also like being a college student and being these in types of environments and stuff. So it definitely was hard, I would say, but the biggest thing was surrounding myself with other women who like followed Christ and wanted to have a relationship with God just as much as I did. So that was definitely a big saving grace, I'd say for sure.
That's excellent. Community has always been a big thing for me. I also would say I came to faith in high school,
Mm-hmm.
came to really know what it meant to follow Jesus. And so I feel similarly. I went to college having that tension of, okay, I want to
Yeah.
live out my faith, but I also like, I don't think that means just like hiding myself away in my dorm room and not having a social life. And that kind of leads me to the next question, because I think in Greek life, you can feel that tension of, okay, people stereotype Christians as like not fun, like not at the parties, just stick in the mud, judgmental, dorky, whatever you
Take
can add
all
to
the
the
words out of
list.
my mouth.
Yes. But then, like, you stereotype Greeks as being like only caring about parties, superficial, vapid, like binge drinkers, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly
And
right.
yeah, so it just feels like those two worlds don't go together. Yet, I think that's what drew me to Greek life was like, oh no, I feel like I can be a Christian and have fun. And I'm drawn to this community because of what it offers with friendship, leadership, fun, etc. So for
Mm-hmm.
you, like, what has been the best thing, or how have you really figured out how to be Greek and Christian, how to still hold on to your faith while still having fun, and being part of your sorority?
Yeah, honestly, I think that's one of the most challenging things about being Greek and Christian is those are like two polar opposite things, like two polar opposite communities. For a while, honestly, I felt very judged when I was like
Mm.
in a Greek environment and I was like known as the Christian girl, or versus when I was in a Christian environment and I was known as the Greek girl, like that kind of thing. But I think what really made like the biggest difference was knowing who I was in those spaces.
Yeah.
So like entering into a party and knowing like I am a daughter of the king and like I know what my identity is, I know what my value is, and I know what my worth is. And God's grace does not change for me no matter where I am and no matter how many
Mm.
times I mess up. And then the same thing, like going into Christian environments and being able to like speak to them about like, hey, this is a really great community that I've wanted to love and I want to step into and I want to be a light for. Like, can you come alongside me and support me in that? So at JMU, honestly, I found that both communities are very supporting of the other. It's just a lot of people don't think that it's possible. And so I feel like me as myself, I can just be who I am in both communities and show people that, yes, it is possible and you can do it too. So yeah, that's
Yes.
kind of what I'd say.
Well, and for our audience who's listening to this, maybe you can't see it, but Maddie has just this huge grin on her face. Like,
Aw.
what she is saying, I can tell she truly believes it, that, you have really found, like, it hasn't been easy, but you
Yeah.
found the joy of stepping into the tension of being Greek and Christian. And
Yes.
yeah, I love what you said of, I can do this because I know what my identity is. That
Mhm.
my identity is that I am a daughter of Christ. I'm a daughter of the King. And so that enables you to, be okay with who you are in the party seat if you're making different decisions than other people. And it enables you to go into those Christian spaces and, maybe not get defensive if people say
Mhm.
snarky things, and actually say like, hey, no, this is something I'm really passionate about. And this is a
Yeah.
place where I feel like Jesus would be.
I was gonna say
And
the
so,
exact same thing. Jesus would be
yeah.
at the parties. That's where he'd be.
Absolutely. I agree with you. Well, I think your joy is contagious. I hope that our audience
Aw.
who is listening watches the video because I, yeah, I think it is surprisingly joyful when
Aw.
you are public with your faith in your Greek experience, when you pull those things together. I think uh, it really gets hard when we try to hide either part of our identity, or we try to hide the fact that we're Greek when we go
Yep.
into Christian spaces, or when we hide our faith in
Mhm.
our fraternity or sorority. And so, yes, it's difficult. But well, I'll ask you this. It is difficult, but why is it worth it to you to be public about your faith and your sorority and to be full heartedly Greek and Christian?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think in the beginning, like kind of figuring out how to like walk that line of like, I am in a sorority, but I'm also following Christ. Like it gets a little messy and there's like
Hmm.
some things where I just didn't really know how to navigate. But I think it's worth it. Like when you do get to share Christ with sisters and when you do get to like tell people about like the grace and love of God, it makes everything like so worth it. Even like my Christian friends that maybe would judge me for like going to a party on Friday night or whatever it may be, like I know the difference that like God is using me in this environment to
Hmm.
get to other people. Like that is worth it.
Yes.
And I've also just made some incredible friends like through the process, and just have been able to like step alongside sisters like through their journey, whatever they're going through, and kind of just like mentor and disciple and help them and kind of direct them towards Christ along the way. And it's been such a fruitful and rewarding process. Just to honestly, like within the past year, to like see the way that sisters have like stepped into faith and been bold themselves, just like in our sorority of Theta as well. It's been really incredible. So I'm grateful for Jesus and I'm grateful for Greek life.
That's awesome. Well, what advice or encouragement do you have for other Greeks across the country who are trying to grow in their faith?
I love this question. I think we could be asking advice from so many people. So I would probably say like a little bit of progress is still progress.
Hmm.
I think a lot of like people who are trying to come to know Christ get very discouraged when they're not like living the perfect life or are failing still at these things even after they have entered into relationship and they, I don't know, I guess expect things to be perfect. I just like would love to remind people that like a little bit of progress is still progress. Like if you're getting up every morning and, saying a prayer or reading your Bible or even just like being more positive and being like the light of Christ in your chapters, like that is making a difference. And the Holy Spirit is working in those people and working through them, to grow them and nurture them and create them into like sons and daughters of Christ. So don't give up and keep going. Ask for help, reach out to your community, reach out to a local church, or if there's campus ministries near you. And if not, reach out to me. Like you can put my Instagram in here. I would love to be your friend. So
I love it. That's so great. Well, you heard her. If you want to reach out to Maddie, go for it. We'll drop her Instagram handle in the video.
yes, DMs are
Well,
open, guys.
well, while you still have the mic, Maddie, are there any shout outs that you want to give to anybody?
Oh my gosh, shout outs. Oh, this is so fun. Well, I definitely have to shout out my co's. I lead a Bible study in Kappa Alpha Theta at JMU, and I could not do that alone. So I lead with Claire Fitzpatrick and Emily Shank. So definitely got to shout them out. And then, of course, our wonderful staff member, Audrey Nab. She has been so influential in my own personal walk with Christ, but also in getting Greek University started up at JMU. We definitely couldn't have done it without her. And really just anyone that's been praying for us. Greek University has been a space that we've been trying to get started since my freshman year at JMU. And with COVID and all the setbacks, it's been very difficult, but we officially are approved. We're getting going. We're working on our events. So stay tuned for the future of what's going to come. But yeah, very exciting stuff. Very grateful.
Oh, that's great. Well, like Maddie has shared, she and her friends started Greek IB at her school her freshman year with the help of a Greek IB staff. But we know that maybe you're listening to this and you want to start Greek University on your campus, or you want to start a Bible study like Maddie did in her sorority. And so we want to help you. All you have to do is go to greekiv.org, fill out the contact card, and we will get in touch with you. Or like Maddie, our DMs are also open. So follow us on Instagram at GreekIV and you can reach out there. But this was a great episode, Maddie. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much for your time. This was so much fun. Such an honor. Thank you, Alison.